like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to the Lions Den community. And don't y'all forget to subscribe to the podcast show. Link will be pinned in the top of the chat.
Just name the channel who could bang with us. I'll prove that you are smoking dust. GGD Media is top notch in this game, y'all. You failures only have your self to blame, y'all. Cricket TV and a weapons make you suckers cry. Why don't you close your channel, crawl into a hole and die? Shout out to those who love our movement, no, we'll never flop until you get your mouth on LGBT. We are the underground outfit, y'all. We built this whole thing by ourselves, look in y'all. Independence start with self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, then how can you build a nation, y'all? Yup, we got that merch for the ladies and yes, we even got that merch for the babies and we got appliances and everything that you will need. We got some banging songs that make anemic haters bleed.
All right, man. Y'all press 2 if y'all can hear me in the comments, man. Got a mic check. 1 2 1 2. If you guys can hear me, press 2 in the comment section, man. We're gonna get right on with this video, man. Again, share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bells if y'all want the truth when you come over here, man, because you ain't gonna get nothing but the truth and the cold hard facts. You understand what I'm saying? As I have another update for you guys, that's more bad news for Sean P. Diddy Combs, as we are dwindling down in the last 35 hours before the trial of the century with Sean P. Diddy Combs, you guys. And I salute to everybody that's tapped in. Salute to all of y'all that's been supporting the channel. Salute to everybody that sent donations to the Cash App, PayPal, and the Super Chats, man. I appreciate all y'all. The links is pinned at the top of the chat if y'all want to do that. And let's get right into this video, man. And I want to shout out to Tragos, Sartez, and Tragos Law Firm. Salute to them, the lawyer you know. I think he has done a great job in breaking some of this stuff down on YouTube and just different cases. So I would recommend you guys go look them up there in Clearwater, Florida. And also go check out their YouTube channel. Subscribe to their YouTube channel as well. The lawyer you know here on YouTube. Some of you guys may already be familiar with them. You know, they do a great job at their breakdowns and what they do. But we're here tonight because I want to talk about a couple things. First of all, I told you guys that Diddy had this, his entire, he was trying to build his case around that the, you know, the federal government is trying to target a successful rich black man. Well, the judge, I told you guys Friday afternoon, he threw that out. He said he was not even allowing Diddy to be able to use that lame excuse. So he threw that excuse out. And a lot of people were celebrating and cheerleading when they heard that Diddy had signed this woman on the right-hand side of your screen, who is a lawyer. Her name is Nicole Westmoreland. Now, she works with Brian Steele, who has just been in a high-profile case. And a lot of people basically were jumping up and down, jumping for joy, you know, like a bunch of thoughts when they found out that Diddy had hired this lawyer right here, Nicole Westmoreland. Now, this is no knock at her to say whether she's a good lawyer or a bad lawyer, but Diddy had, you know, rumors had been that he wanted to get a black female lawyer on his case, and he ends up going and gets a black female attorney that has also been a victim of sexual assault. Now, Diddy, he may have thought that that was going to help. But apparently, according to the rules of the federal courts and law, her situation cannot help Diddy. Oh, I see. That's right. This lawyer, in my opinion, she was only hired for a court of public opinion and for looks, for the jury to see that's a woman on the sideline. And maybe if they watch the news or something like that, they may see her and see her story on the internet or something like that, and may think, hey man, if Diddy got her, she's defending him. Why would she defend him if she believes he's lying? And can't happen. Now, Sartez and Trago's law firm, over there, the lawyer and again, y'all go subscribe to their channel. They have the lawyer broke it down. He broke the situation down for us as far as that goes, and the baloney about victim 3 that I told you guys, where everybody's saying victim 3's missing. They're not gonna. If victim 3's not gonna testify, they're missing. Monkey crap. And I told everybody that because of the simple fact that there was already a sworn affidavit. The federal government do what the hell they want to do. They can go pick her up and put her ass in cuffs and yank her ass up there in the courtroom. Ain't no she's missing and they can't find her. That ain't happening, Jack. So let me go ahead and play to you guys this, and I'm gonna give my commentary. Shout out to the lawyer, go subscribe to his YouTube channel, and you guys should go check out their firm. You guys have inquiries or you have any personal issues that you need to take care of, go holler at them. I'm gonna give him a shout out. I like the information he puts out in the public.
So a lot of this is coming from reports from people inside the courtroom, from people discussing the case, leaking out information, basically what we already know from certain websites and what's come from their lawyers and statements that have been made. But a lot of the reporting from the courtroom is exactly what you would expect in a federal criminal trial. And it is limited. Now, opening statements are coming Monday. So we're going to get a lot more information when people are reporting exactly what the government, what their theory is, who these witnesses are, what they're trying to prove Diddy did. We may hear some of his defenses, some of the weaknesses in the government's case from the defense's opening statements, and the lawyers are getting prepared to start this case. And Diddy is not the first lawyer to try to build the legal dream team. We know he's got Garagos. We know he's got Agnifilo. We know that he has Brian Steele added to the team. And there have been reports that one of his lawyers that he's either added or was already on the team may have been a victim of abuse themselves. And is he going to try to use that some way in opening statements, which would...
Now, stop right there. Before he goes further, he talks about Diddy trying to put together a dream team. Diddy has definitely put together an entire basketball team, but he's wasted his money. Because this woman's situation, it is illegal to use her situation in court. Diddy's lawyers, under no circumstances, can use this woman's past situation to benefit him in court. It is illegal and is against the law. Now, for you guys who don't know what's going on, you just landed on planet Earth. You hadn't been hearing about this case. You hadn't been following. Diddy hired her in the last minute. Now, as I told you guys, this lawyer, before she was a lawyer, she was sexually assaulted at 19 years old. She came out and sued Birdman and Slim from Cash Money Records and basically tried to accuse them and hold them accountable of something they didn't personally do. Somebody else did. Now, she sued them and she lost. She filed an appeal and she lost that appeal against Birdman and Slim, right? Two people that had nothing to do with her situation. And so it was proven that she was sexually assaulted, but by a different person. And that person was charged. And so that person, was sentenced and charged for that crime. And that's a horrible thing that happened to her. We're not going to hold that against her. But the thing is that Sean Diddy Combs has put this woman on his case. Now, me personally, I think it's disgusting. Unless she really believes Diddy, unless she's trying to get a paycheck. Sometimes people just trying to get in here and get a paycheck. You got a chance to get on Diddy's team. You get your name known. You go, you write, you go after this. You get interviewed. Shit, the worst case scenario, people will always know your name. If you weren't in this case, people wouldn't be talking about your name. You was in the first case over there, down in Georgia, and now you in this case right here with Diddy. So your name is all over the place. That's the only benefit to me that she gets from being over here. Because as the lawyer states, and I salute to this brother, because he did a great job of breaking this down, Diddy's lawyer and legal team cannot use anything that happened to her personally in this trial because she is not on trial. Let's go.
One of his lawyers that he's either added or was already on the team may have been a victim of abuse themselves. And is he going to try to use that some way in opening statements, which would be inappropriate because the lawyer's not allowed to testify about their background and how it may affect the case or garner some sympathy from the jury or some understanding that they're a real victim and the victims that they're going to be cross-examining are not. So you have to be careful, but that's what the reports are. And celebrities and criminal defense.
Let me run that again. Let me run that again. Run that again.
One of his lawyers that he's either added or was already on the team may have been a victim of abuse themselves. And is he going to try to use that some way in opening statements, which would be inappropriate because the lawyer's not allowed to testify about their background and how it may affect the case or...
Right. The lawyers are not allowed to testify about their background and basically shame other victims or alleged victims and say, hey, I'm a real victim. Are you? Can't do it. So I don't know if Diddy knew that law or not, but backfired. Backfired. So, I mean, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's against the rules.
To try to use that some way in opening statements, which would be... One of his lawyers that he's either added or was already on the team may have been a victim of abuse themselves. And is he going to try to use that some way in opening statements, which would be inappropriate because the lawyer's not allowed to testify about their background and how it may affect the case or garner some sympathy from the jury or some understanding that they're a real victim and the victims that they're going to be cross-examining are not. So you have to be careful, but that's what the reports are. And celebrities and criminal defendants alike try to build the team that is best, sometimes to just cross-examine one witness, sometimes, as we've seen in Karen Reed's case, potentially to just help with jury selection. Some lawyers have specific skills or expertise in a certain portion of a trial, so celebrities and other defendants that are able to afford it will add them to the team, and it seems like Diddy is doing just that. We've also heard right before the trial started.
Right. Now let's talk about that, because Diddy has a rack of lawyers. So what Diddy is trying to do is, I think he had one lawyer for, you know, everybody to be talking about, oh man, why would she defend Diddy? She was a victim of SA. That's been the whole conversation. But people don't know that she can't use that in the court. So now it comes down to, what are the other lawyers there for? Well, Brian Steele, he's a damn good lawyer. But the thing is that, are they going to be able to get over the overwhelming propriety of evidence in this case? Are they going to be able to overcome the evidence? Because remember, Brian Steele and them came in at the last minute. He hadn't been here this whole time. There's a lot of stuff for Brian Steele to go over. So maybe he's over there just to give a word if he sees something. Or maybe he's over there. And see, here's the bad part. Let me say this to y'all. And I want people to really understand this. Here's the bad part about having so many different lawyers on a case. If the lawyers don't agree, your lawyers can end up fighting with each other. And it can ruin your case. Because one law firm may have a different philosophy from another law firm. And if the leader's Mark Anglifo, maybe he doesn't want to do something that Brian Steele wants to do. But Mark is the lead lawyer. And maybe Brian feels like, hey, man, I want to do this. But Mark is like, no, we're going to do this. That's going to cause real issues. That can cause real issues. That can put this case in this situation in a very, 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 very bad situation. And people don't understand that. When you got too many chefs in the kitchen, that's when you have a problem. Now, if those guys are there just to get a check, fall back, be in line, whatever, cool, no problem. Let's go back to the O.J. Simpson trial. When O.J. Simpson, first O.J. Simpson, I believe, he was going with, I forget his name, Rob Kardashian and what's it called? I forget the other guy's name. He had the other lawyer first. Then he brought in Johnny Cochran to take over, right? He had F.E. Bailey. He had F.E. Bailey, Rob Kardashian. He had, I forget the other lawyer's name, man. His name was slipping up the tip of my tongue. He had the other lawyer, and he then brought in Johnny Cochran to take over the whole case, right? There was riffraff between those lawyers. Now, Johnny controlled the room. Yeah, Shapiro. It was Shapiro that was running the case. And then Cochran came in and he was brought in to take the case over, right? But Cochran had time to really build a defense for OJ, right? Diddy is using Mark Anglifo, but here's the problem. You're bringing in all these other A-list lawyers who may have their own style and way of wanting to defend you. So now when they all get in the room, they all got to be on the same table. Because if they're not all on the same table, you got a problem, Jack. You got a real problem. And when you're bringing in that many lawyers at the end of a certain trial, and this is the thing, Diddy brings in all these lawyers at the end. You bring in Brian Steele like a week before your trial. That's crazy. You bring in this girl right here, Nicole Westmore, a week. They haven't even had a chance to go through all the evidence. Bro, they're not getting no sleep. They ain't getting no sleep. I'm talking about his old lawyers ain't getting no sleep. The new lawyers ain't getting no sleep. Because it's hard for you to put an input if you don't have all the evidence and all of this stuff impacted in your brain. Because you may say something and you don't know something else that's in the case that maybe Mark and those guys didn't go over with you. So it makes me think about what happened with Anthony Rico. Because remember, the only black lawyer Diddy had, Anthony Rico, he quit. And he said, under no circumstances can I defend Diddy. I gave him my best ability, and there's nothing more I can do. When he quit, that made me think, man, something ain't right in that circle over there. And the fact that Diddy keep hiring lawyers let me know he don't have confidence in the guys he had then just to get the job done. He don't have the confidence, bro. He don't have it. I'm telling y'all this. You guys got to understand what I'm saying to y'all, and smash the like button as y'all come on in here. Then, now, when you find out that she can't use her situation at the jury against other victims, what is her purpose? Because I'm pretty sure Mark Anglifo is going to want to appoint people or do everything the way he wants to do it because he's the lead. He's the lead. Now let's get into it.
Diddy rejected a plea deal. That is not surprising at all. The government in federal cases is famous for offering bad deals right before trial because usually they're incredibly confident, and that is coming to fruition when you see the percentage of cases that is in the high 90s that they convict. Very rarely do you get a not guilty verdict in a federal case, especially one this high profile, this big, that they had to be sure before they even went forward.
Minotaur, Shaman.
Stop right there. Did y'all hear what he said? Now you got all these fools in here. Oh man, Diddy's gonna get off. Diddy's gonna get off. I'm hearing these clowns on YouTube still saying Diddy's not charged with hitting Cassidy. He literally is. Bro, what is wrong with these people? Diddy's not getting charged with hitting Cassidy. He is, fool. It's on page 1. That's how y'all know people don't read paperwork. And let's get the likes. We only got 381 likes. Man, hit the like button. We should have over 1,000, 1,500 likes. It's easy. All this stuff these fools are saying, oh man, look at that lawyer Diddy got. Yeah, man, she's going to tear it up in the courtroom, dog, because she was a victim of SA. Why would she defend Diddy? When she goes in there and they talk about her situation, they can't talk about it, Janet Jackass. They can't talk about it. They cannot talk about her situation in court. It's against the rules, baby. Against the rules. And with victim 3, oh man, victim 3, she backing out. She might not testify. Cap. Victim 3 is on affidavits, sworn affidavits. The feds can go drag her ass in there in handcuffs, strap her ass to that seat and make her answer questions. Think I'm lying?
We've also heard right before the trial started, Diddy rejected a plea deal. That is not surprising at all. The government in federal cases is famous for offering bad deals right before trial because usually they're incredibly confident, and that is coming to fruition when you see the percentage of cases that is in the high 90s that they convict. Very rarely do you get a not guilty verdict in a federal case, especially one this high profile, this big, that they had to be sure before they even went forward. But even with the fact that I'm calling it a bad offer, many times the bad offer prior to trial ends up being better than what happens if they convict the criminal defendant, which often happens.
Thank you. So Diddy not taking, and let me say this again, Diddy not taking the plea, bro, he's gonna F around and get damn near life. If he doesn't get life, he's gonna get life, bro. He's gonna get life. Period. Period. Don't come in here lying. Fake ass attorney Simon. Don't come in here lying, because I'll put the shit on the screen. I'll put the shit on the screen. I will put the shit on the screen. So stop fucking lying. Because I'll put on the screen. Huh? So I don't want to hear that. You're full of shit. Right? And these are all facts. And I'm going to tell you why. You're a liar. I'm going to tell you why you're a liar, and I blocked your ass. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the law. Right? She says put on the screen. Okay, I put on the screen. No problem. I'll put on the screen for you. I will put on the screen for you. Put on the screen right now. I got bills on top of bills. Hold on, let me see. Put this on the screen for him. Here we go. Ooh. I know one thing, only one like you. There's no way that they could have made two. I'm gonna put it on the screen and stand on you bums. Her first, her last. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate y'all. Round of applause, please, for the cooking I'm putting on these food. You know what I'm saying? Bruh's barbecue. Taste make you want to slap, yo. Oh. Now, let's read. What does the law say? Yes, an attorney can speak about their experiences in court, but there are restrictions. What are the restrictions? They can only do so when they know the assertion is true or believe it to be true based on reasonable inquiry. This means they can share personal experiences, but only if they are directly relevant to the case and they have a good faith belief in their accuracy. Here's a more detailed explanation. Relevant and accurate. An attorney's own experiences can be a valuable part of legal arguments, especially when demonstrating expertise or understanding of the case. However, the experiences must be directly related to the issues at hand and not be fabricated or misleading. What does what happened to her have to do with this case? She's not involved in this case. She's not involved in this case. Her experiences are not directly related to this case. Duh. Sit your ass down. You lost. Now, if she had experiences that was directly related to this case, that's something different. Her experience had nothing to do with this case. You know why? This case is built on racketeering, sex trafficking, and prostitution. Also, her situation happened when she was 19. It has no connection to this case right here with Cassie and these other people. You want to keep getting Easter? You want to keep getting Easter? Do you want to keep getting Easter? Let me go to ethical considerations. As an attorney has a duty to act honestly and with candor towards the court. This includes not making statements that are false or misleading, even if based on personal experiences. You know what that means? She can't come into court and use her situation to demonize alleged victims. When her case is not related to the case at hand. If her case was related to the case at hand, well, you got a point. Her case is not related to the case at hand. You guys, y'all ain't got no brains, man. You easy to beat. That's why it's unethical. And that's why it's against the rules. Now, you would have had me if her case had something to do with this situation. And you saying her expertise, no, not going to work because she's not related to the case. That's the part y'all got to understand. Let me give you an example. That's the reason why the judge will only allow the doctor that's going to come speak on Diddy's behalf to only speak on one aspect in general. She cannot speak on Diddy because she did not examine Diddy. The doctor that Diddy's having come in during the case. How do I know? Because I read the goddamn paperwork. Forgive me for my language. I read the paperwork. That's how I know. I read the paperwork, fool. The doctor that Diddy wants to have come speak, Diddy wants to have a doctor, and he's going to have a doctor come speak that didn't even examine him. So the judge says, well, look, you cannot give testimony related to Diddy because you didn't examine Diddy. You can only come and give a basis statement. That's it. Read the paperwork. And the judge says because you did not personally examine Diddy. Period. Someone please call 911. Right? And here's another thing. In her case, here's the differences between Nicole Westmoreland's case and Cassie and all these victims' cases. Cassie and these victims said they were beaten. Nicole Westmoreland didn't say she was beaten. Nicole Westmoreland said she was R-worded in her lawsuit. How do I know? I got the paperwork right here, baby. You know I keep a paperwork party. You know I got a paperwork party. I keep the paperwork, baby. You go read the paperwork yourself. Diddy's victims all spoke about coercion, violence, beatings, substance usage. She didn't say anybody gave her a substance. I feel bad about what happened to her because that shouldn't happen to nobody. But y'all not going to win with cap. You're going to have to win with facts. And that's not going to work. Now let's keep going. And to that person who said something, that's why you probably got a bad, you probably didn't even do too well at the bar. You just talking. You probably a low budget lawyer.
I said, if you look at the percentages. So it's still an offer, usually for less jail time than they will be looking for after
And
the
let
case.
me replay that part that we was talking about, where he talked about the lawyer lady. I want to replay that part because he brought up a good point about her. I want to replay that part.
We know that he has Brian Steele added to the team, and there have been reports that one of his lawyers that he's either added or was already on the team may have been a victim of abuse themselves. And is he going to try to use that some way in opening statements, which would be inappropriate?
Hold on, y'all. He says, did you do an expose on Harvey Weinstein? Yeah, go look at it. I got about 12 videos up on Harvey Weinstein. Go look at it. Go look at Harvey Weinstein. I broke down Harvey Weinstein's case on this channel and on my other channel. Why don't you go look at it? I know you didn't go look at it, so yeah, smart ass. Yeah, we don't miss over here, punk.
Because the lawyer's not allowed to testify about their background and how it may affect the case or garner some sympathy from the jury, to try to use that some way in opening statement. One of his lawyers that he's either added or was already on the team may have been a victim of abuse themselves. And is he going to try to use that some way in opening statements, which would be inappropriate because the lawyer's not allowed to testify about their background and how it may affect the case or garner some sympathy from the jury or some understanding that they're a real victim and the victims that they're going to be cross-examining are not. So you have to be careful, but that's what the reports are. And celebrities and criminal defendants alike try to build a team that is best, sometimes to just cross-examine one witness, sometimes, as we've seen in Karen Reed's case, potentially to just help with jury selection. Some lawyers have specific skills or expertise in a certain portion of a trial, so celebrities and other defendants that are able to afford it will add them to the team, and it seems like Diddy is doing just that. We've also heard right before the trial started, Diddy rejected a plea deal. That is not surprising at all. The government in federal cases is famous for offering bad deals right before trial because usually they're incredibly confident, and that is coming to fruition when you see the percentage of cases that is in the high 90s that they convict. Very rarely do you get a not guilty verdict in a federal case, especially one this high profile, this big, that they had to be sure before they even went forward. But even with the fact that I'm calling it a bad offer, many times the bad offer prior to trial ends up being better than what happens if they convict the criminal defendant, which often happens. Like I said, if you look at the percentages. So it's still an offer, usually for less jail time than they will be looking for after the case if they get the conviction. But many times it's not worth the risk for the criminal defendant because they say, well, at least if I have a small percentage chance of winning and going home, or of course, if they're maintaining their innocence, it's not uncommon for that plea deal to be rejected before, especially a very speedy federal trial. We have been doing jury selection over the last week, and it's been reported that 600-ish jurors have come through. Now, they've whittled it down already. I believe today is Friday, so it's about around 45 jurors. And they think they're going to be able to pick the 12 out of that 45 today. Just to give you an example of normal cases like I try, we usually get somewhere between 35 and 45 jurors, and we're able to whittle it down in one day. Now, we have had federal court cases that I've tried where we have individually questioned jurors, which is what they did in this case.
Hold on. But what you're saying doesn't make any sense. You got to listen to what I said to you. Tony R. Let me explain this to everybody that's listening to this video. I feel bad about what happened to her. She was violated. It was proven that she was violated. That's a horrific thing. What happened to her has nothing to do with this case because her case is not related to this case. Her situation is not related to this case right here. This case is a RICO federal, you understand what I'm saying? Trial. This is a Fed case that we're talking about with racketeering, sex trafficking, and solicitation of prostitution. She didn't have any of those. She was a victim of R-word, sexual assault. Listen to what I'm saying to you. This case right here, you're talking about coercion, substance abuse, beatings, all of these things, right? Control over your career, all of these things. So her situation is completely different than Kathy's and the other victims that you read about. She didn't have any coercion and stuff like that as far as I'm gonna control your career and force you to do this to control your career. No, this is a situation that happened when she went to help with some people who had suspended license and she got caught in a bad situation, and she had a horrible thing happen to her. That's completely different than with Cassie, victim 2, victim 3, victim 4, and victim 5, or victim 4 from what we've seen so far have explained. That's completely different. Go read her lawsuit. Go read the allegations and what she said happened. She didn't say she got beaten to a pulp. She didn't say that her career was controlled. She didn't say that she was given substances. These are the different things. Because see, if you bring that, because I'm going to tell you something. It will backfire in court. You're not listening, sir. It's not about her expertise. That doesn't matter about her expertise on the screen. You're not hearing me, sir. She got R-worded, sir. That's horrible to happen to any woman. But that don't have nothing to do with this case because her situation was completely different. What about that don't you understand, Playboy? You're not listening. Her situation is not relevant to this case. The reason why it's not is because her situation in no way is similar. Let me give you an example, dog. You guys is too easy to smoke. If she goes into court and she would have said, hey, look, I was a victim of SA. It happened to me. I was in a place. I was in the bathroom. I was forced against my will. Something bad happened to me. Boom. Guess what they're going to say? Well, how does your case relate to Cassie's? Because Cassie is saying that she was repeatedly beaten. We have a video where she was beaten and dragged down the hallway, kidnapped. We have evidence of coercion, threats, arson, other beatings, career control. See, now, when you put all those other things in it, she can't relate to that. So really, anything she say will backfire. Bribery, substance abuse, anything she says about her case related to this will backfire. You'll be a fool. Because all they're going to say is, they're going to tear her ass up on this. The prosecution will tear her up. Because they'll say, well, hold on. Did you have any substance abuse in your case? Were you allegedly given substances that controlled you? Do you have a videotape like Cassie does, her getting the holy hell beat out of her in the hallway? Did anybody's car get blown up around you? All these things, bro, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You're not understanding that. She will not be able to make that argument. You're going to see in court that she's not even going there, bro. That would be Nightmare on Elm Street. They're not doing it, bro. And the judge going to throw that shit out anyways. As soon as they try to say something, the judge going to strike that shit from the court if they even try to ever say something. And it's going to make them look bad. So you got to understand the dynamics of the case. Now, if she was dealing with the same type of stuff, then that's different. Because check this out. See, this is how it needs to be. Hey, yo, this is why I love getting up close with these punks. Bro, I get up close on these niggas and bang, straight like that, y'all. Check this out, y'all. She can't speak up on her career being controlled. Like Cassie can. She can't. There's no legitimate argument she can make about that. She can go up there and say, oh, well, I was the victim of SA. I went to the police. Yeah. Did you have a Glock 45 to your head? Did somebody put a blicky to your dome? Did somebody try to kick a 50-yard field goal with your head? Did somebody yank you by the hair and drag you down the hallway? Did somebody throw a vase at you? Did somebody put trackers on you allegedly? All these other things. Y'all are going to see. Y'all are going to see. And it's going to shine bright in front of the world. So, no, it does not relate. At all. It has no relation. Because when people say, hey, man, well, why didn't you go report it to the police? And what happens is she says, I did. Remember? Because in the paperwork, it says that she gave statements to law enforcement. My nigga, you know I got the paperwork, nigga. I was never capping. Read the bottom of the line right there. Victim one's own statements to law enforcement were not the sole basis for the probable cause. That's Cassie, victim number one. She made statements to law enforcement about her situation. It's right there in the paperwork. You damn fool. Now see how you getting cooked? Huh? A picture perfect. I paint a perfect picture, punk. A picture perfect. I paint a perfect picture. Yeah. Stand on business, sucker. Now, this how you clap a clown. Extra rotisserie. Now let's get back to what we were saying before I was interrupted by a stain.
And sometimes that can take a lot longer, but they were able to do it in about a week. And you may ask, how is that possible comparing it to Karen Reed's case, which took twice as long as that? And Diddy, I don't care how big the Karen Reed case feels, Diddy is more well known than Karen Reed. Everybody knows who Diddy is. But as we've learned, just knowing who Diddy is not enough to get you struck in this case. Do you have a bias for Diddy or against Diddy? Is that bias something that is going to affect the way you look at this case? And apparently there was a lot of that in jury selection, as you would expect. And as you can imagine, based on the reporting, based on the allegations and just how bad it is, and based on the fact that people have for decades maybe loved or hated P. Diddy. There was a lot of questions, as you can imagine, about assault and harassment and victimization and dealing with law enforcement. But in federal court, it's not surprising to me that the jury selection is going quicker. It almost always does, in my experience. The judge controls the jury selection so much more, generally, when you're comparing federal court to state court. Many times the questions have to be approved by the court. The court will ask way more questions, in my experience, than a lot of state court judges. Sometimes you have to submit the questions you want to ask. Sometimes they'll limit the amount of time or the question areas and contents lawyers can go into if they let the lawyers ask questions at all.
So I
Did you hear what he said? He's telling y'all that basically the judge controls pretty much everything except for the verdict, as far as how the court proceeding is going to go, how the jury selection is going to go, how, you understand, what's going to be allowed to be put in the evidence and not. This is what Diddy asked for. Diddy asked for this judge. Diddy appealed up and asked for this judge. No excuses.
Additionally, there's a lot of social media today's day and age, and they've had issues with certain jurors saying, no, I haven't been following it on social media, or I didn't make any posts. And the lawyers have gone back and done research and come and said, this lawyer liked a tweet or retweeted a meme or made a comment on something. And the jurors are like, oh, maybe I did when I was doom scrolling and things like that, which is definitely going to be an issue, not just for jury selection, but for them sitting as a juror on this case.
And he's not lying, because they just struck a juror for that on Friday. And that's why they said they wasn't going to complete the jury on Friday. They're going to do it on Monday morning, right before the trial start. Because they didn't want the whole weekend to go by with, Diddy's team and the prosecution both knowing who the jurors were. They wanted to be fair, so they want to narrow it down to pick the jurors when the trial started. The judge was smart to do that.
For the entirety of the case. And they're going to whittle it down to 12 jurors, I believe, plus alternates. We don't know exactly what the alternates should be. I think it should be 6 alternates, like Karen Reed's case. It's going to be a longer case. It's going to be a lot of outside pressure and influence and social media and reporting. The chances of losing jurors, to me, are higher than your average case. So I think they should and will pick a large number of alternates. Additionally, we have some high-profile jurors. Garagos and her father, who is not working on the case, high profile. Brian Steele, high profile. Some of his prior clients, high profile. Agnifilo, some of their current clients, high profile. So just from the lawyers, it's high profile. P. Diddy himself, P. Diddy's family, And you know when they mention and they read the list of names, do you know these people? And if you do, let's talk about it. But there are also a number of celebrities that have been listed. Some we know their role, like Cassie Ventura. Some we don't necessarily, like Michael B. Jordan, Michelle Williams, Michael Myers, some high-profile producers, some people that have filed civil lawsuits against P. Diddy that are higher profile. So with all these celebrity names, it opens up the questioning even more, which would make you think it would take longer and longer and longer. Generally speaking, if a trial is a week or two, which most of mine are, it takes a day or two to pick a jury. So in a case like this, that's high profile, going to take quite a long time. I don't know exactly what the plan is, but we'll find out as the trial goes. 1 week seems pretty quick, but that's federal court. And that's with a dream team of lawyers fighting to make sure Diddy's rights are protected. They're not going to let the judge rush them. They're not going to let the judge shut them up. They're going to push. They're going to protect the record. But federal court judges are appointed for life. They're not scared to make a tough call. They're not scared to ruffle the feathers of a high-profile lawyer. Nobody's going to vote them out. It has to be something incredibly egregious for a federal court judge to lose their position on the bench. So that's important. Another thing, Diddy's lawyers, you can call it a win. It's not surprising. It happens in most cases. Diddy will be wearing civilian clothing. He will not be wearing the orange jumpsuit. He will be, I believe he's been in a sweater and a collared shirt, maybe a tie some days, looking professional, not over the top, not anything that's going to distract or look pompous to the jury. I think, that's the advice I would give as his counsel. I think he's going to look professional. I think he's going to blend in. And I think that it's going to be something that's not really surprising to any of the eyes of people that have watched other trials where criminal defendants are afforded that same privilege.
Now, y'all hear that, right? So that's the one thing, and I think that's fair. You have to, because he hasn't been convicted yet. So you have to let him wear regular clothes. I think that's fair. That's only fair to let him. And I think that anybody who hasn't been convicted, and you see that in court a lot, they normally let guys wear their normal clothes. Only in rare situations don't they allow the people to wear regular clothes. So I mean, even in the Young Dolph murder, the killer was allowed to wear his regular clothes in court. He was allowed to wear his regular, even though he was locked up and didn't get bail, he was allowed to wear his regular clothes during the trial. Still got convicted, but he was allowed to wear his regular clothes.
Now, when you start talking about the evidence and how it's going to be presented, there has been reports that one of the victims may not be testifying.
Now, let's talk about that. That's victim 3. Oh, victim 3, they might have lost victim 3. Bullish. They'll go lock victim 3 ass up, put their ass in cuffs, and drag their ass down there to the courthouse. The hell you talk about?
Now, when you start talking about the evidence and how it's going to be presented, there has been reports that one of the victims may not be testifying. They might have lost track of, I believe it's victim number 3. And what can they do? Well, they can force him to come to court. They can go put him in handcuffs, subpoena him, bring him in there.
See? Everybody was like, oh, she don't have to. Yes, she do. Once you already give your statement under oath, under the penalty of perjury, that's your ass. That's your ass. You have to come. If you don't, they can go arrest her ass, drag her ass up there, and make her give that testimony that she gave to them. And if she gives a different testimony, she will be held in contempt of court, and she could potentially face jail time if she gets up on the stands and lies and give a different statement than what she gave under oath. Case closed, and y'all let these bums come on YouTube and tell y'all something different. But like he's about to tell y'all, they don't even really need her. They got more victims. They got more people that's going to testify. They don't even really need her. But like I said before,
track of, I believe it's victim number 3. And what can they do? Well, they can force him to come to court. They can go put him in handcuffs, subpoena him, bring him in there. Usually you don't like doing that with victims. I believe this is one of the victims that doesn't want their name and likeness out there. They want the privacy as much as they can. I think there are multiple victims in this case that have been afforded that right. So usually you don't want to do that. So what does the government do when this happens? Usually in a RICO or conspiracy case where there are a lot of moving parts, a lot of victims, a lot of different criminal activities, it's okay. You can do it without one victim as long as it's not potentially the star victim and witness like Cassie Ventura seems to be in this case. But again, I think there's a lot we don't know.
That's facts, and that's what I've been telling everybody. Everybody keeps talking about, man, Cassie the star, she the star victim in this case. Y'all mofos don't even know who the star witness in this case is. It could be somebody that's bigger than Cassie that's testifying, and y'all don't know it until the court starts. Because that's why he said, man, you could be in for major surprises in this case. Because y'all don't know the names. You only know Cassie. You think Cassie's the biggest because her video got leaked. You don't know what other celebrity, who else could be out here to come up in there and be a major witness in this case. Especially if they're allowed to testify anonymously to the general public. That's the thing. Y'all don't even know half of the other stuff that this dude has been accused of. Because what I was hearing, some of the shit with Cassie, man, that was the light shit. The other girl already told y'all the man stomped on her stomach. One girl. So, like I said before, play this game if you want to. F around and find out. You're going to find out on Monday, though. That's the craziest part about the whole situation. All these people that's capping, they're going to find out on Monday.
I think there's a lot we're going to learn, which I'll talk about in a second about what's coming this week. Like Cassie Ventura, in a RICO or conspiracy case where there are a lot of moving parts, a lot of victims, a lot of different criminal activities, it's okay. You can do it without one victim as long as it's not potentially the star victim and witness like Cassie Ventura seems to be in this case. But again, I think there's a lot we don't know. I think there's a lot we're going to learn, which I'll talk about in a second about what's coming this week. But the government is going to have to adapt and adjust if this victim cannot be found or cannot or will not testify. I expect what I would do is probably not mention them in opening statements. Try the case, get as much of the information as you can without them, and if you end up finding them and calling them, great. If not, hopefully they're not a necessary witness for you. If they are, and there are certain elements you can't prove with that witness, are they going to try to alter the charges, alter some of the criminal activities, under some of the underlying facts? Are those going to have to change? Are they going to have to sub in witnesses? Is that going to be a problem? Is it proper notice? Have they been subpoenaed? Will the defense file objections? And make a big deal about that, as they should, if any of the rights are violated, if anything is done in an untimely manner by the government. Is this victim, I'm sure there are going to be reports, did he get to them? Did he pay them off? Did something happen? Will there be witness intimidation charges? I don't know. That's going down the road of things we don't know, facts we don't know, speculating on things that's not going to help for the analysis of what's going to happen in this trial. But for all intents and purposes, everybody seems to think they are going to pick a jury today on Friday and start opening statements and potentially a witness or two on Monday. So we're going to start fast and furious. And it seems like this federal court judge, which some federal court judges, they like to take a lot of breaks. It's 10 to 4 with a break in the morning, a break in the afternoon, a break for lunch, and we don't come on Fridays. We've tried cases like that. Some federal court judges are like, we're going to do as much as we can. We're going to get this over with as quick as we can. So we're going to get an idea. What is the schedule going to be like? Is this going to be a fast-paced, fast-moving trial or a slower pace, which is going to allow the lawyers to do more work after 4 o'clock on Fridays, over the weekends?
Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. I think this is going to be a slow-paced trial. The reason why I think this is going to be a slow-paced trial, and y'all all smash the like button if you ain't subscribed, subscribe. I think this is going to be a slow-paced trial because I think the judge is going to be fair in giving the opportunity for people to give their full, because he understands what's at stake. So he's not going to try to rush this on Diddy to where everybody doesn't have a chance to fully get out their side, cross-examine, everything else like that. I think he's going to give a full opportunity for both sides to give their full, layout and their full statements and their full, presentation of their case. So that's from the prosecution, and then the prosecution will rest, and then the defense will give their whole situation. Remember, so it'll be like this. The prosecution comes out. The prosecution will open their case, whether they bring victims or witnesses first. They'll come out and give their opening statements. So basically the breakdown will be like the government will come out, and the government will basically explain everything that is going on in their case. In the opening statement, they'll explain what their basis is. They'll explain what their target is. They'll explain what they're trying to prove. They'll explain how Diddy did it. They'll explain why they think he did it. They'll explain evidence that they have to prove that he did it. And they'll explain how they're going to lay out their case and evidence that he did it. So that'll be their opening statements. Diddy's lawyers will give their opening statements, and we'll get right to the case. And then they'll start, going to whatever their strategy is, or however they want to start, whether they start with the racketeering charges, or they want to start with the sex trafficking charges, or they want to start with the prostitution charges, and however they want to lay out their case. That's how they're going to do. And then, you'll have witnesses. And here's what I think happened, you guys. I'll be honest with y'all. They said they got a list of 190 witnesses. And let me say this to you guys. Al B. Sure says he's been subpoenaed, right? But he says that, he's willing to testify. He said he's been subpoenaed and he's talking with his lawyer, right? That sounds about right, because let me tell y'all something. If you're subpoenaed to court, right? Let me put this on the screen for you guys. Hold on. I want to put this on the screen. I want to put this on the screen. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, so listen. That is, do you have to appear in court if you're subpoenaed, right? And so let me see. I'm gonna put this on the screen for you guys so y'all can understand, because I believe that list of celebrities they say they had, I believe that they subpoenaed a lot of these people for this case to show up in this case and testify. You know what I'm saying? I believe it based off of whether or not they got to testify off of, them being a part of a certain situation, their names being involved in a situation. I believe that there is a list of celebrities and of people just involved that have been subpoenaed in this case. How do I know? Because Al B. Sure came out and said he was subpoenaed. Right? Now, if you guys look at this right here, the law will tell you right here about subpoenas. It says, yes, generally you are required to appear in federal court if you have been subpoenaed. A subpoena is a legal order requiring you to appear in court or provide documents. Failure to comply with a subpoena can have serious consequences, including fines and imprisonment. That's the reason why I think Gina's going to show up in court. Everybody keeps talking about, hey, man, they're going to lose number 3. They ain't going to lose her. They'll lock her ass up for messing around with their case. Elaboration. What is a subpoena? A subpoena is a court order demanding your presence at a specific time and place, or the production of documents. Why appear? Subpoenas are used to ensure witnesses are available for testimony and that relevant documents are produced for court proceedings. Let me give y'all an example. Y'all remember watching Matlock? Matlock used to walk around and say, hey, I'll subpoena you if I have to court. Sometimes they subpoena people and have people sitting over there waiting to see if they're going to get called. So they can subpoena all those celebrities and people that they saying involved. They can subpoena their ass to the courthouse and make them come up to court. They can say, we're calling you up here. Your name is involved. We're calling you up here for questioning. And you have to come up here and you will raise your hand and you will testify under the penalty of perjury. If not, you will be in contempt of court. So yes, I believe many of those people on that list were subpoenaed. Because once Al B. Sure said he was subpoenaed, because think about this, what the hell do Al B. Sure have to do with this entire case? Unless his name is in it and he's been subpoenaed, which he has. He revealed he was subpoenaed. So he's in New York, meaning that yeah, he's there. He's gonna show up and testify. So basically, they can subpoena as many people as they want, and if they need to call you to the stand, they'll do it. They will do it. So for everybody who thinks that victim 3 can die, I'll laugh when people was talking about victim 3 is gonna hide, not gonna show up. Yeah, victim 3 ass gonna be in contempt of court, and they're gonna lock her ass up. She's gonna end up getting locked up. Right? It says, why appear? Subpoenas are used to ensure witnesses are available for testimony and that relevant documents are produced for court proceedings. Consequences of not appearing. Ignoring a subpoena can lead to a court finding you in contempt and potentially fines and imprisonment. And you playing with the feds. So they're not finna play with you. You playing with the feds, a Fed case, and you get a subpoena, yeah, you better show your ass up. And I believe a lot of them celebrities got subpoenaed. And you will probably see them in court at some time. And when they subpoena you, they can subpoena you for a day, a time, all of these things. They can make you turn in certain documents, phone records. Guess what happens when you're dealing with federal court? So for all these dum-dums that's running around here, oh man, victim 3 may not testify. Yeah, her ass gonna end up in jail too. Which one you think she gonna choose? Take her ass to prison or get her ass up there and testify what she did under the affidavit, under oath? You pick one. You pick one. Right? You pick one. So, yeah, she'll be in prison. She'll be in prison. But let's keep going.
Depends on the case, but sometimes I do prefer that and I do like that. In other cases, I like to pack. I mean, if it's a week, I want to get it done in a week. I don't want it to bleed over into the next week. If it's a 2-month trial, I'd rather it be a little slower paced. So again, you can keep up with the other work in your office. You can prepare. You're not rushed. You're not missing things as a very high profile trial is going on and a very long trial is going on.
Now, what he's saying is, length of time of the trials. I told you guys, I think from what I'm seeing from this judge, it's going to be a slow trial. I think this judge likes being detailed. I could tell that because even when he was doing the bail with Diddy, he took all weekend to do that. He didn't have to do that. He took his time. So I believe this will be one of those slow moving trials, probably around 2.5, 3 months, maybe 4 months.
But we are expected opening statements, multiple witnesses potentially on Monday, and this case is going to be off to the races. Now, you guys tell me who you're following, who you trust in the courtroom, because I'm going to have to get it from different sources. I'm going to have to try to follow this case. It's not going to be a daily update. Maybe we'll do some kind of weekly update on the Diddy trial if you guys are interested.
So I love the breakdown he gave because he touched on 2 specific issues. It's going to be hard for this new lawyer that Diddy have to do anything or say anything about her situation because her situation is not relevant or prevalent to the situation at hand because of the different factors. Secondly, victim 3. Everybody keeps talking about, victim 3 might not show up. Man, victim 3 have to show up. They send that subpoena, your ass better show up in court. You better show up in court. Shit. You try and play that game with the feds, I'm not gonna show up. And all them list of celebrities, anybody that could be linked, involved, they will subpoena your ass and drag you into court. So let me say this. People can get subpoenaed to court during the trial. It don't have to be before the trial. The feds can go subpoena you during the trial. This is the thing people forgetting about. If the feds see that, oh, we need this witness right here to come in, boom, they can go send your ass a subpoena tomorrow and say, hey, look, you got to be up here. Remember they went and subpoenaed and grand jury Courtney Burgess, the dude who said he had those tapes? Remember they went and subpoenaed him and he had to take his ass up there and go give testimony in front of the grand jury with his lawyer? They ain't playing. And he took his ass right on up there. So, again, y'all have to learn this. So, during the trial, all them celebrities that was listed, and then think about this, people's names who may get mentioned during the case that's not even, you know what I'm saying, involved. What about Diddy's lawyers? They can try to get people, witnesses, subpoenaed to court. Man, I told y'all, man, it's going to be a lot of moving parts, man. And then think about this, y'all. If they do subpoena celebrities and stuff like that, which they will, think about the cross-examine of those celebrities. Man, bro, you're going to hear how Diddy's lawyers really feel about those people. Imagine what the cross-examine is going to be of Kid Cudi if he takes the stand, which we expect him to do. Man, that's going to be sickening. What about the cross-examine of James Cruz, the former president of Bad Boy Records, on the right-hand side of your screen? What is he going to say? Well, Mark Anglifo is grilling him. Diddy's lawyers are grilling him. When he has to look Diddy in the face. Right? I'm trying to tell y'all this. Y'all better stop thinking this is a game. It's going to go down, man. I'm telling you guys, biggest trial ever. Biggest trial ever. And so, again, you know, the way this judge is handling this case, you guys, this judge has a stronghold over this case. He has a complete grip on this case. I can tell how he's running this thing. And he's not going for any of the BS. And now, like I said, everything's going to come to the forefront because, as I told you guys, a lot of these people are getting subpoenaed. They're not telling you, they're getting subpoenaed. Now, what happens if people that's in the freak-off tapes, if they subpoena celebrities that may have been in the freak-offs? Videotapes that we didn't even know about, that's in evidence. What happens if they subpoena them during the trial? Right? Diddy's team can ask for a break to go do some research so they can cross-examine the witness. Man, I'm telling y'all, bro, it's going to get real. Bro, this shit is going to get diabolical. I'm telling y'all this. I hope y'all know what I'm saying. It's going to get real crazy, y'all. So, I mean, everybody need to be locked in and subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be on here wall-to-wall coverage, man. So definitely the biggest trial probably in the history of just, you know, and then what if he gets put on the stand? Lord have mercy. Let's talk about that real quick. What happens if he gets put on the stand? Oh, my Jesus. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I think they're going to put him on the stands. I think they're going to put him on the stand. Man. They put Adi on the stand, bro. Man. I believe they're going to put Adi on the stand. I'm telling y'all this. I think he's going on the stand. Him, he's going to bring a lot of people in this. I can tell you that already. I can just tell by how he was talking to the police in the interrogation room. And he's probably going to want to reduce his time that he's got right now that he's dealing with. So I can tell you that right now. I can see him 1,000%. I can see him on the stand testifying 1,000%. Like, no doubt in my mind. I can see him on the stand testifying. Bringing everybody name into the situation. It's gonna get crazy. I'm telling y'all this. He might do stuff, and the judge may have to control him. I don't know if Cassie's gonna be called on Monday. It all depends on, I'm thinking that they may call Cassie last, or it depends because she's called victim 1, so she may be called first. It just depends on how they want to do it. If they want to go ahead and get Cassie out the way first. You know what I'm saying? It just depends. But I don't think Cassie's going to be first. I don't think so. I think it's going to be, I think they're going to lay out evidence. I think bro, they're going to have a lot of people they call up, man. A lot of people, bro. All right? A lot of people. So I think that off top. You said, hold on, what you say? Let me see. Yeah, opening day, they said that they want to get 2 people in there quick. So I think they're going to have 2 witnesses or something like that. I really don't know how they're going to do it. I'm interested to see how they're going to lay this thing out. This is the most interesting thing I've ever seen before, you guys, is how they're going to lay out this case, man. This is one of the most interesting cases that you have ever seen. Right? Now, I've also heard rumors that Diddy may have male sex workers that come in and testify on his behalf. I've also heard rumors of that. We're going to have to see about that. I've heard rumors that Michael B. Jordan may testify. People saying, oh, he might not, man. I heard rumors he may have to testify. And so, that's why they ask you in these questionnaires, do you know who these people are? Because they don't want you to have a certain, let me explain this. With all the celebrities, they don't want you to have a certain bias toward the celebrity. Because if you do, you may like the celebrity and just go with what they say because you like the celebrity. So let's say you like Michael B. Jordan because he's an actor, and he gets up there on the stand and he says something. You say, hey, man, I believe him, whatever. Because, a lot of these dudes be jockstrap sniffers. So if they like somebody, they're going to take up for him regardless. It doesn't matter if they think that, if they know what's true or not. That you see a lot of these people do that shit for celebrities anyways. They always give celebrities the benefit of the doubt. Somebody come at a celebrity and say, oh, they're trying to tear down our rich black people. They don't even know these people. They're willing to take up for people they don't know just because they're a celebrity. Oh, man, they're trying to take down our legends. You don't even know this person. You don't even know this person from a can of paint, but you're willing to go out on a limb, say all this crazy shit, defend people you don't even know. And then if the evidence comes out, you don't already demonize the accuser. You can't even, now you want to go back. But the damage has already been done. You got to look at that type of stuff. That's real, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to tell y'all right now, I know this is going to be a long case just based off all the filings. Bro, you ain't got 100-page filings, 50-page filings, all this stuff, all this redacted stuff, and this is going to be a quick case. Nope. This is gonna be a long, drawn out case where you guys are gonna hear a lot of shit, man. It is gonna be real funky, bro. You're gonna hear a lot of stuff, yo, from this case. A lot. Trust what I tell y'all. And then, what if they subpoena Diddy's family? What if they try to subpoena Diddy's mother? What if they try to subpoena Diddy's son? Y'all ain't think about that shit. What if they try to, let me say it again. What if they tried to subpoena I'm going to say it again. That's going to be crazy. They subpoena his mom. Right? Y'all going to see that. That's going to be the crazy part, y'all. If they do that, think about that. And I think everybody needs to think about that. That's the part I think people are missing. Think about if they subpoena Kirk Burroughs. Oh my God. And everything he knows, man, unbelievable stuff, y'all. Unbelievable stuff, man. I'm trying to tell y'all this, man. Trying to tell y'all. Kirk Burroughs been saying a whole lot. He said a lot to Art of Dialogue, too. Remember? Hold on. Y'all remember everything he said to Art of Dialogue? Do y'all remember everything he said to Art of Dialogue? It was a whole lot he said to Art of Dialogue, y'all. A whole lot. Kirk Burroughs was going in. And Kirk Burroughs, for you guys who don't know, he was the former president of Bad Boy Records back in the day. That's before the last dude I told y'all became the president of Bad Boy Records.
We had to make them. Some of them were work artists, and some were artists that had natural talent that had to be exposed. So Biggie came out of the box. Good. Now we had to get these other artists going. The relationship with Arista is that we set Biggie up. We made a success with him. Now let's get this budget drawn down for artist 2, artist 3, so on and so forth. As we're recording them and getting their music ready, knowing what the sound is about to be about, we get an opportunity to go on the road. One artist is getting paid. We might get a chance to squeeze another artist in, but they have to do it for promo, for free. Arista might pay for their lodgings, their per diem, their food, their room and board, their to and from, but they have to work on that stage and let the audience get to know them and not get paid for it. Sometimes that's the most invaluable marketing campaign startup that you can get, to be out there in front of the audience. Sometimes you can't pay for that. And sometimes an artist not understanding the opportunity would not want to work for free, because that's what it looks like. Someone else is getting paid, I'm doing it for free. I can't see the benefit. So I can see her not doing it, and I can see her, and I can understand her answer at that point in her career. Maybe if you ask her today, she might have a different view of that opportunity. Also, not to be in the middle of people's relationships, but if that's what was going on at the time, they were together and he might have been with Lil' Kim, she might not have wanted to be out there in the middle of all of that in the mix. If she gave that answer honestly, I would have to accept that as being the truth, because all of those things were going on at that time.
What was your reaction, and what was Biggie's reaction to the picture of Tupac and Faith? And did y'all know in real time that, you know, she was out there hanging out in L.A. with Tupac, Suge, and Death Row? Did y'all know?
Well, we got word that the ladies of Bad Boy were on the West Coast, the Queens were on the West Coast. Sean's baby mother and Biggie's girl, Faith. And what happened was Misa, a stylist, talented in her own right, wanted to venture out and get checks on her own. She had little baby Justin. She wanted to make a living for herself. So she started taking and accepting clients. A part of the way this game works, it's a chess game. Of course, someone from the West is going to know that she's available. They're going to hire her out there to come and style them. So she gets a job, a check opportunity that you just would not want to refuse. I could see through it that these people are paying to get her out there. They want to have the picture opportunity. They want to have whatever the opportunity is. We're in the middle of an East Coast, West Coast beef, or the startup of it, but people still need to eat. You still need to travel from both coasts to the other. The women don't understand the battle as much as the men do. Some people didn't know about the battle at all. Only a few people. So they're out there on the West, and we're thinking of how to protect them, how to pull or rein them in, how they went out for 1 or 2 days, ended up being a week or two. It went from working to hanging out, partying, and extended stay, and chumminess, and all of that. Not that I heard from Big direct, but the things that I had to do was to get these bras back over here, get them back home. Simple.
Right. So how did you get Faith and Misa back? I mean, break that down for me, man. Was it difficult to get them from LA back to New York?
A lot of, hey, what's up? What y'all doing out there? What's going on? What's the problem? A lot of begging and pleading. If their husbands couldn't get them back or their men couldn't get them back, I could only do but stand in the middle and do a little bit of pleading on one knee, as I'm hoping that they would come home so that the pressure can be off with these dudes so we can get back to what we need to do, take care of the business as well as all the other things that was happening at the same time. People can't think straight when they think their woman is across the country doing something else. It's simple.
Suge Knight. Is it true that Suge Knight took a picture with Misa and Puffy's son Justin, and Puffy found out about the picture and he went crazy? Take me through that, man. How did that come about?
One of those trips, she may have been hired by someone relatable to Death Row, or maybe by Death Row Exact. I don't know. But the check was right, and she took the check, and she went to the West Coast to do the job. Baby Justin was with her. Somehow she was called to that office, I guess, to see the artist or the talent and meet the people that were cutting the check. And it ended up being Suge Knight, and she was treated very well. I mean, they laid out for her, welcoming mat and all of that. And so well that it got back to the East that she was there in the office and that Suge was meeting Justin Combs and possibly holding him in his arms, and that there was a photographer taking a picture, and that wasn't the picture that we needed to see on our end or that we wanted the world to see at all. So I remember that day extensively. It hit us like, a rocket launcher or something. It hit us hard. I remember getting off the phone. It was almost damn near half a day, maybe 2, 3 o'clock. And maybe in the afternoon, Wendy Day was promoing, announcing something big was going to happen. Not Wendy Day, Wendy Williams. Pardon me, everyone. Wendy Williams, radio personality, TV personality, Wendy Williams, was announcing in her super highly rated afternoon show that might have been even syndicated then, that she had big news coming that involved Justin Dior Combs. Perked my ear
Now,
up.
let's stop that. That's another thing. Is Wendy Williams going to be one of the people that's subpoenaed? Now, Wendy Williams is in a certain situation, but a subpoena may override that. Will Wendy Williams be subpoenaed? Is she on the list? Will her situation come up? These are all questions. And if you ask me, I'm willing to bet all kind of money Wendy Williams' name's on that list. I'm willing to bet big money and if Wendy Williams is to get on the stand, man, bro, imagine if they subpoena Wendy Williams. Think about what I said to y'all now. A subpoena overrides everything. If they subpoena Wendy Williams and put her on the stand, bro, I'm just telling y'all, man. To the person who says Wendy Williams can't talk, shit, a federal subpoena overrides anything she got going on right now. The hell you talking about? Nope. A federal subpoena overrides anything that y'all are talking about. If the feds come subpoena her, she has to go to court and then she'll go back to wherever she's at.
I said, yo, what's going on? We started calling everybody. He was calling me. He got a heads up. He started calling the bosses at Hot 97. The street team was listening. They heard. The executives heard. We instantly all left the office, 19th Street, some in cabs, some in cars, some running all the way down to Hudson Street where Hot 97 was to get down there just to handle the situation and make sure that that picture was not exposed to the masses and was not delivered through Wendy Williams. And all of that fracas, if you look back, history would tell you that she was let go from Hot 97 over that and had to go to another city to operate out of. And I think she remembers that in the way she should remember, as something that happened that ran her out of town. And then she was able to come back and be the Wendy Williams that she is now today with all the success that she's had. But that was a snafu that day with us and with my godson in that picture, that image. On the chessboard, it didn't look right on any level. Common level, behind the curtain, and high principalities. And
ER says, when's the last time you heard Wendy Williams speak? Didn't Wendy Williams speak a couple months ago? Wendy Williams just went out on a dinner date. What are you talking about, dog? What are you talking about? When's the last time y'all heard Wendy Williams speak? What are you talking about? You clowning, dog? You trolling? You capping? You capping, dog? Huh? Are you capping, bro? Or you just lying, brother? I'm gonna ask you a question. Right? Now, this jackass, you guys, he says, when's the last time Wendy Williams spoke out? That's what this jackass said, y'all. You know what I'm gonna do, y'all? I'm gonna oblige this jackass. Straight up. Now, your name is ER? You need to go to the ER after you get cooked, because I'm finna destroy you right now. You niggas is easy to beat. Y'all are some buck dancing bonanzas. Now, he asked me a question, y'all. If y'all want me to eat to this boy, put a wreath to this boy. Press 1 in the comment section if y'all want me to eat to him real quick. If you want me to eat to this chump, press 1 in the comment section right now, and I swear I'm going to eat through him. I swear I'm going to eat through him right now. I swear I'm going to eat through him right now. I told y'all, you got questions, I got answers, sucker. You got questions, I got answers, sucker. Okay, they want you to get ether, bro. They definitely want you to get ether, dog. So ER, I'm sorry I had to do this to you, brother, but I'm gonna do it to you. I was gonna give you a chance to apologize, but the whole crowd want to see you get smoked. So y'all read the question from this bum again. He says, when the last time y'all hear Wendy Williams speak? Don't worry, I'll wait. First of all, this nigga look like a dusty ass, he look like a low budget. What's the dude name from Philly? I can't remember his name, man. What's his name? This nigga look like a low budget AR ab. Nigga, sit your ass down somewhere, nigga. Now let me go ahead and cook this dude real quick. My brother. All you gotta do is go to ABC News, brother. All you gotta go to ABC News, brother. Wendy Williams speaks out amid fight for freedom from courtship ordered guardianship. Let me repeat it again. Wendy Williams speaks out amid fight for freedom from court-ordered guardianship. Wendy Williams' interview with Impact X Nightline is now streaming on Hulu. Dated, read the bottom of your screen, February the 13th, 2025, Janet Jackass. Now, ER, get off your knees, boy. Get off your knees, boy. You can't beat me, sucker. Get off your knees, sucker. You ain't on my level, boy. You ain't on my level. When the last time you heard Wendy Williams speak? When's the last time you heard Wendy Williams speak, man? Huh? Hunt ticket? When's the last time you heard Wendy Williams speak? You know what The Rock says? Do you know what The Rock says? Hold on. Do you know what The Rock says to a jabroni like you? Do you know what The Rock says to a jabroni like you? Do you know what The Rock says? The great one can do one better, sucker.
Ridiculous. In 2024.
When's the last time you heard Wendy Williams speak? Okay, let's play it. February 2025, y'all.
This has been pretty quiet recently, except for a rare public appearance at her son's graduation in December. No one has seen much of the talk titan. She's been under a court-ordered guardianship, something she tells us she doesn't think she needs and now wants to change.
Here's Wendy.
This morning, legendary talk show host Wendy Williams is fighting for her freedom.
How are you doing?
How am I doing? I'm still in prison, so to speak.
The former queen of daytime has been in a court-ordered guardianship since 2022. Williams spoke with Nightline co-anchor Byron Pitts from a New York care facility.
Can you describe where you are right now?
Yes. Well, as I said, because it's a fact, this is the memory unit. That's what this floor is called, the memory unit. And it is true that these people who live here don't remember anything. Look, I don't belong here at all.
Hey, Buster, you gonna apologize, ER? You gonna apologize, you Buster? When the last time you heard Wendy Williams talk, man? I heard she's in a vegetable state. Yeah, you dudes is clowns. See how I be stir-frying all these niggas? Now, like I said before, hey, where he at? What I do that? He was running his mouth. Where he at? He disappeared. That's how these punks do. They talk all that shit, and then when you ether their ass, they disappear. Where he at? Why he leave? Y'all see this? This how you got to get with these punks. You say you been here? Okay, apologize, my nigga. You came out there putting out a bad statement. You said, oh, I'm going to wait. So you waited and I showed you. I'm playing again for you, sir.
This is ridiculous.
In 2024.
Let me play that one more time for you right there.
Are right now.
Yes. Well, as I said.
You said you apologized twice, mofo. Okay, well, that wasn't good enough. Get off your knees. Punk, bitch. Blocked. Nigga. And brush your teeth on the way out. You don't come in here playing that game with me. Sit your capping ass down somewhere, you buster. Like I said before, man, these dudes just be coming in here to talk, man, and get attention. And then when they get stir-fried, then they want to get mad and get an attitude with me. Nah, sit down, sucker. Point blank, period. Cook these bums 3 the hard way, man. Straight like that. This man teeth look like a whole roll of butter me not biscuits. Canked up with all kind of bread and yellow stuff all over your teeth. Get out of here, brother. Playing these games. I'm a grown man, brother. Come playing them games with me, man. I ain't playing with you, dog. Now, right? And Diddy had a lot of people he had that was, you know what I'm saying, felt the way. What about Keefy D? Remember Keefy D? Y'all remember Keefy D on All the Dialogue?
If I'm not mistaken, you had an issue with how Puffy treated people, right? Like you. And I remember you saying that you had an issue with how Puffy did Shine.
I just think Puff, you know, he needs to be a stand-up man, man. That dude is up there and did that time for you and nothing like that. Then you got this man living down there in police, living all fucking bad, man. You seem like you just leave your people for dead, man. That shit wrong, dude. You Gene Deal complaining about you. I'm complaining about you. You nigga, you ain't. I heard one of my homies from 30s. I heard he get every quarter he get clothes, all this shit. Then you gave this other dude some fucking a brand new fucking Benzo or Maybach. Another nigga piece of the rent company. God damn, homie. I was on top of the world until I met your motherfucking ass, dude. Shit is wrong, dude. Come on, homie. I need something. Throw a dog a bone or something. Fuck. You sit up there talking about you, Daddy Love. Show us some love. Mr. Love, I be watching you, dude. Damn, you ain't said shit or keep your ear or nothing. You walk around me like I'm some shit on the ground or something. God damn, dog. You can get in contact with me, man. Nigga, there's ways around that shit, dude. Fuck. What the fuck? Man, you know what I'm saying? There's ways around that, homie. Throw my kids something. Throw somebody kids something. God damn. Daddy love. You ain't no love. That ain't love at all, nigga. That's some bullshit. That ain't cool, dude. You know what I'm saying? Swear, man. Gene Jill, Sean, Keefy D, just every fucking body, man. God damn. You just leave bad tastes in everybody's mouth, man. Come on, homie. Damn. You forgot where you come from. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm like some shit on the grass and shit, nigga. You know I was in fucking jail, nigga. You ain't throw a nigga a noodle. Fucking, what you call that shit? Just put the hot water on, man. God damn. Fuck. Yeah. Life ain't been the same, bro. Fuck. You know what I'm saying?
So I want to backtrack.
What?
So I want to backtrack. You said that you was on top of the world until you met Puffy. What you mean by that?
Man, shit, I was getting 300 kilos a month, man. Balling, man. Fuck, didn't nobody know about me. My shit was smooth, dude. My shit was laid out smooth, man. I met your motherfucking ass, and all the heat and thunder coming around with your motherfucking ass, man. Shit. Fuck. Only throwing... Damn. Man, don't leave bad taste in everybody's fucking mouth, dude. Just like when I was in the feds, you know what I'm saying? You dudes was drinking that fucking that moonshine and shit, man. I used to, every time we met at them rooms at the concert night, I used to put 2 cases in the motherfucking bathtub and shit, homie. You know what I'm saying? You ain't none of it, you know. You wasn't buying them bottles. You niggas was drinking moonshine. This how y'all do it? Man, let me show you how Cali niggas do it, man. Come on, man. Shit ain't right, dude. And I get, once I get in the bed, I see you popping bottles. Poop, poop, poop. Nigga, you was popping moonshine at first. God damn. Homie, damn. There's ways around it, man. Come on, homie. Man, you gotta do a better job, dude. I swear, homie. Yeah, I'm done, big dog.
I feel you, man. So you feel like Puffy owes you then?
I don't really owe me, but god damn. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Brother love, come show some love. That's all I can fucking say. Show some love, brother love. You know, shit. Brother, I be seeing you doing your little pretty dance and all that, man. Show some love, homie. Come on, man. Don't be like that, brother love.
What are some of the things you used to do for Puffy back in the day? Go more into detail about that. What exactly did you do for Puffy?
I gave him you know what I'm saying? I passed through my town, man. Gave him a pass through my town. Boosie be talking that shit. Remember, Boosie talk that shit. Well, you got to check in, motherfucker. And I was one of the ones you had to check in with, man. Gave you a pass through my town. Make sure you was unscarred. Make sure you know what I'm saying? You was straight. Biggie probably would still be here if you wouldn't have said the FBI was following us. You know what I'm saying? So we all would have rolled out together, you know what I'm saying? Mobbed out, you know? And it would have been shots fired. We'd have followed that car, everything, man. You tripped. With the FBI following you, didn't want to be around us. I think that was a bad move, dude, you know what I'm saying? To me. Yeah, but show some love, brother love.
And just to make it clear, man, when Puffy came to L.A., you used to give him protection, right? From the Southside Crips because he was scared of Suge Knight?
It speaks for itself, my brother. He was playing chess, and I guess we was playing checkers, cuz.
So he was really scared of Suge Knight like that, yo?
That's what it looked. That's what it sounded like, yeah. Yeah, He had the music industry shook up. He did.
All right, you guys. So we appreciate everybody that popped in, supported this video. Make sure that you guys shop our merch. We got that new A-Weapons merchandise right there below this video. All you got to do is look below. The links will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well to get the merch, to donate, support the channel, and subscribe to our podcast show. You'll see all those links pinned at the top of the comment section of this video. And we appreciate everybody that supports this channel and our networks. Also, that straight drop weight loss formula. Go to the website. You guys will see that. A link for that will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well. Go right there for all of your weight loss needs. Straight drop weight loss formula. We have a lot of testimonials on the website. You can go to www.str-8-drop.com and get you some of the weight loss formula today. Take your weight loss serious. Get in the gym, work out, exercise, and do what you got to do to stay on point. We appreciate everybody that's been locked into this video. Again, all the links are pinned at the top of the comment section below. Salute to all of y'all. And again, we appreciate everybody who support what we doing over here.